farm vlog. We had strong winds, driving rain the other day, and the tar paper that we had on this roof protecting the house from getting wet from rain completely stripped off. And so our buck house started leaking with rainwater and all their bedding got wet. The poor goats got rain on them. They were not thrilled about that. So we had to come out here and temporarily put tarps up while there was a break in the rain in the hopes of keeping the bucks dry. Now it's not the greatest solution. It's already starting to come off, but temporarily it's been working. Of course, then we had to pull out the wet bedding, put in fresh straw, which the goats were weirded out at first about how thick I put the straw, but it's getting colder here. This pond is frozen. It's not thick, but winter is coming. So these boys have a temporary tarp for their roof on top of plywood on their pallet shelter that we made for them. So it's dry for now. Boys, what do you think? Better? So I totally had a scare last night. So I'm pretty used to my St. Bernard waking me up at night to let me know when there's coyotes out in the woods. So whenever that happens, she barks, I get up and go out and send her out. She just barks along the perimeter fence and the coyotes move on. Normal. Okay. So last night, well, 1:30 in the morning, she's barking aggressively. I let her out. I send our puppy Oaken with her, and I walk out on the deck, and of course coyotes are going off. You can hear them right outside the fence line, and they're howling. And of course Anna does her thing, does her barking and yelling at the coyotes, and the coyotes, after a few minutes, they move on. It gets quiet. All right, so at that point the dogs go to do their business and I go back in the house. All of a sudden I hear Anna barking really loud again. So I'm like, oh boy, did the coyotes decide to come back? So I come back out and I don't hear any coyotes, but she's barking. So I wait a few minutes, she keeps barking. I'm like, all right, that's a lot, you know, neighbors. Come on, Anna, let's go in. It doesn't sound like the coyotes are around anymore. So I go to bring her in, but she does not want to come in. She is insisting that something is going on, and she keeps staring at the goat pen. Her tail's getting stiff, she's getting all puffed up, and she starts barking. And so I'm like, okay, get my boots on, get my jacket, let's go. Let's go see what's going on. So come walking out. I get to the goat yard and she is like looking intensely into the goat yard. So I'm like, oh, here we go. So I open up the door, I come on in, she goes running and comes over to the buck pen where I'm in now. And so she is barking over in the buck pen. So I come in here, I check on the boy goats. They are inside their shed in the corner, all curled up, sleeping, or trying to, but all the ruckus doesn't make for good sleep. But they are all tucked away in there. And so I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and then she stops barking and I hear crunching of leaves right outside the fence line where these bucks are. So I know something is over this fence. I don't know what it is. Anna hears it too. She starts flipping out. She charges at the fence, and so she's barking at the fence. I hear more leaves crunching, but no other noises. So I know something's over the fence. So I start talking to the goats, to the dogs, telling the goats it's okay. It's just me, like trying to calm everybody down. The male goats are being quiet. The female goats are starting to talk in the shed. And so I'm trying to quiet everybody down, and then I go over to where Anna is to look over the fence with my flashlight to see what I can see. Can't see anything. My hope is that hearing a human voice, me talking to these animals, not just the dog barking, but my voice too, maybe the combination scared off whatever was lurking here. But Anna was real upset. Usually, like, she barks and she'll bark at the coyotes, but I've never seen her get that intense where she was stiff and hair sticking up and really like intent on getting into the goat pen. So something's out there. I gotta get my motion sensor camera charged up, but I want to set it up looking down over the fence and just see if I can catch something on camera and just see what we're dealing with out here if it decides to come back. But it definitely took me a little bit to get back to sleep after that scare. I only have little chickens and dwarf goats, so they're small, and I'm very thankful to my dogs for being so protective of them. And yes, Anna was the star of the show. She leads the way when it comes to predator control on our farm. But our puppy Oaken, he was following behind and doing his barks. But I gotta say, he's got like this low bark and a low growl. He's much more subtle. She's got a big, big, loud bark, whereas he will stare something down and give that low growl bark. And yeah, he definitely would be a force to be reckoned with. This boy is always getting out. Come here, buddy. Come on. Come on. It's a good thing he's really easy to get back, but he's also dangerous to be around his mom, aunt, and his cousin because he likes to breathe. Amelia, out. Okay. He's back in, but then Amelia went in, so I had to get her out, but we're all good now. All right, little goaties, time to go to the chickens. I got to show you the chicken's automatic chicken door. It's installed. Here we go. Ta-da! It's so patriotic. I love how it looks. It goes along with our sign, home of the free because of the brave. A little patriotic, red, white, and blue. We got the red on the top. I love it. But even better is that it opens in the morning and it closes at night. We have had some freezing weather, driving rain, cold wind, and so far, knock on some wood, it's been working. But I need to see if this works in the snow, even colder, freezing temperatures, below zero temperatures. And then, after I've been using it for a while and tested it out, I'll give you guys a full review of it and installation and how that all went. But I gotta say, installation was a breeze. Thankfully, my husband was able to do that, because if I had cut the hole, let's just say it would probably have been diamond shaped instead of like rectangular shaped, but he did a great job. It honestly took us longer to gather up the tools and supplies needed to actually install it than in the actual installation process. And I just left it on factory mode, which is based off of the light that it senses. And so far it's had no issue of sensing light for letting the chickens out. It was actually really funny when I came out this morning and I did a double take because all the chickens were right at the gate waiting for me, and I'm like, whoa, and I panicked in the moment, like, oh my god, they're out. But then like I have to like retrain my brain and be like, no, the door lets them out. And then at night it's automatically factory settings that it closes 20 minutes after sunset. And so my chickens like to go in before sunset in my main flock, so that gives them plenty of time to make their way in and get up on the roost. I'm really happy because my kids and I are going horseback riding this afternoon, and usually we're at the barn for hours and we're not going to be back until after dark. So the peace of mind of knowing that these chickens are going to be in and the door will theoretically be closed makes my heart happy. Our chickens had a big day this week. They had their flock inspection. So they had to have their blood work for the National Poultry Improvement Plan program that I'm part of, as well as the Avian Influenza Clean program. And so every 6 months they have their blood work done. Make sure that their blood work is clean. No avian influenza positive cases here. So we do that every 6 months. Once a year they get tested for pylorium and typhoid, salmonella. Make sure that that's all clean. So that gives me peace of mind that my flock is healthy. It also is helpful for shipping, hatching eggs, selling chicks, to have that blood work done, clean bills of health, and just knowing that they're safe. But isn't it really cute? I love it. So I did get it from Run Chicken on a Black Friday sale, and so far so good. So we'll see. So I do have to wait for my chicken's blood work results to come back, but in the meantime, new this year, the state of Massachusetts for the NPIP program is requiring a biosecurity plan to be typed up for each participant that's in the program, and so I need to work on that and update my biosecurity plan for this coming year and get that submitted. So I've been working really hard on that. I got to get that typed up and sent off so that their annual test and everything they need for that program will be all set for this year. But I gotta say, the farm inspection this year was much more intense, more involved than it has been in the past. But I did learn a lot, which was really awesome. Which of course, avian influenza is an issue, and we gotta keep our flocks protected to the best of our ability. And so I do my best to keep my flock protected while also keeping in mind their mental health as well. So I'm trying to write out my biosecurity plan that I have in place in a way that complies with the avian influenza program, the NPIP program, as well as what I think is appropriate for my chickens. Just trying to find that balance. So now I'm gonna go document that plan. So thank you for hanging out with me today. And if you haven't started your farm yet, what are you waiting for? Get your farm on. Like and subscribe. Good boy, good boy.
1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want to farm a wicked awesome farm? Watch this channel to learn what to do. We love to farm and we'll show you. Yeah, welcome to our show. Whoa. Just one.